Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a widow with her only daughter. Mother and daughter just came to this village a few years ago. When the husband had not passed away, the whole family lived happily in prosperity. The husband was a former businessman on the street. But who would have thought how fragile happiness in life is? One day, the merchant fell ill, then after a while he passed away and was buried very solemnly. The widow lives with her only daughter. Maybe she didn't and #39 pay attention to her business, maybe she was unlucky, and maybe for some reason her customers became less and less, and her debts piled up more and more, until one day she lost her business. The widow had no choice but to sell what was left in the house to pay off the debt, then leave the city to live in the countryside. Here, she always acts exemplary, devoting all her heart and soul to loving her child, so that she does not feel sorry for her. The girl has a heart of gold and loves people very much. She is very lovely and gentle with everyone. Looking at her, everyone loves her. The widow was very happy to have such a daughter. Every time she saw her worrying about taking care of her mother and helping with the housework, she forgot all the sadness in her heart. But the widow was old and money was becoming increasingly tight, so Ms. Hanako decided to get a job to help her mother. Because she was cute and gentle, she soon found a good job in a neighboring city. Even though the journey from home to work takes an hour, Hanako doesn't and #39 want to leave her mother alone at home. Every morning she leaves early in the morning and doesn't and #39 return home until dark. Each time, she brought back half of the food she received in her bag. The road was very difficult, especially in winter or when it was stormy in the fall, but Hanako didn't and #39 mind at all. She jumped happily, her spirit excited before the beautiful natural scenery in the forest. Hanako memorized every bird and number 39's nest and every new flower blooming in the forest. But she was especially interested in the giant chestnut tree, a tree with a wide canopy of leaves, located in the middle of the road from the city to the village. The trunk of the tree was so high that Hanako saw it from afar and she greeted the tree from afar, because thanks to this chestnut tree she knew she was halfway there. But soon, she became even more attached to the tree. She had the habit of stopping by the tree regardless of the time, whether it was snowing or sunny, to tell the tree what she had seen during the day, the things she had seen during the day. Things that have just happened in the city, things that the tree cannot see even though the tree is taller than her, or tell the tree about her mother and number 39's story, how her mother and number 39's two legs have had difficulty walking and how she really wanted her mother to live happily in this world. And as she talked, she caressed the rough and cracked bark of the old tree, then picked up all the dry leaves and branches that had been blown by the wind and piled up on the tree and number 39's roots. For 3 years, Hanako talked to the tree every day, and with time, she truly forgot that the tree was completely different from her. The tree became the only friend for her to confide in, confide her suffering as well as share her joy. One evening, as usual, she came home with food for her mother. That day, because she was busy with work and had to come home late, she hurriedly left so her mother could eat on time and not worry. From afar, she looked for the tree to determine the midpoint of the road, although this time she did not have time to talk to the tree. But she could also stop for a moment to caress the tree. Her heart was so happy that she was about to meet her best friend, that she did not notice the dark clouds that had spread across the sky. When the first drops of rain fell, she just had time to reach the tree to hide under the thick canopy of leaves. The rain fell heavily on the leaves. Hanako stood close to the tree trunk and listened to the water roaring like a waterfall. Suddenly she felt like she heard someone talking mixed with the sound of rain falling. The voice echoed in her ears. "Dear Hanako, it and number 39. Time for us to say goodbye. In 3 days, the king and number 39's carpenter will come and take me down. People want to use my body to make a boat. Within 3 months, the boat must be launched and a celebration will be held. The king will personally attend. In this moment of farewell, I want to thank you for your friendship, thank you for your kindness." Her heart of gold touched me deeply. But what makes me admire her even more is her devotion to her elderly mother. She took very good care of her mother. "You truly deserve a better fate, and because of my ability to help you achieve that better fate, please listen to me carefully. When the manager gives the order to launch the ship. Boat, there is no power in the world that can make the boat move. Finally, the king will promise a generous reward to whoever can push the boat into the water." But no one could shake me. Only when she came close to me and whispered, "And quote, I and number 39 am here, Hanako, I and number 39. They come to you," and quote, did the boat gently slide into the water. "Say goodbye to my dear Hanako. I hope you will always be cute and kind." As soon as the tree finished speaking, the rain stopped falling and the sky became clear again. Extremely surprised, Hanako thought to herself, and quote, "I must be dreaming. How can a tree talk, even though this tree is my best friend?" End quote. Then she lovingly stroked the tree trunk, took her bag and hurried home. The next night, she stopped by the tree again. "You know," she said, panting to the tree, "yesterday I had a nightmare. I dreamed that people were about to take you down. I and number 39 am sure that will never happen. If that happens, who will I get to talk to?" But on the third day, when Hanako returned home, she tried to look for her friend from afar, but the tall, dense canopy of the tree had disappeared. She trembled and hurried away, but what the tree foretold her had already happened. Where the tree and number 39's trunk proudly rose, a carpenter was cutting off the last branches on the giant tree and number 39's fallen trunk. Hanako was sad, caressed the tree bark one last time, then slowly returned home. That night, there was no sound of joyful singing in the house. Hanako quietly helped her mother eat, constantly thinking about the miserable chestnut tree. From now on, the path through the forest will be so sad because there will no longer be good friends. Everything the tree said before has now happened. Now at the edge of the village, right on the riverbank full of workers, they sawed the tree trunk, planed it smooth, cut the stakes, and then built a large boat. 3 months passed, and next to the water appeared a beautiful boat, fragrant with wood, lying sparkling in the sunlight. Then the day of the boat launch came. A jubilant ceremony was held. People gathered in large numbers to watch the boat launch. Everyone wears their best clothes. Merchants and sellers came. Countless gifts of cakes were displayed everywhere, including rice flour cakes, donuts, fresh fish and other delicious foods. There were also stage artists who came to perform tricks on the dry riverbank to entertain the ceremony. People were only waiting for the king, and he and his powerful entourage arrived last. Everyone rushed to the riverbank, people crowded together. Not even a grain of rice could get through. But how did the launch of the boat happen? All the boatmen tried their best to push the boat. Some pushed, some pulled, the rope stretched and made a crackling sound, but the boat remained as inert as a rock, as steady as bronze. If you can make a beautiful boat like this but can and number 39 launch it, then what is the use of it? The manager turned pale with fear. How humiliating! Even the king witnessed it. Even though he tried his best to shout, scold, and encourage the crew to push, it still lay there. The boat still didn't and #39 move a bit. Visitors also came down to help, but it was still useless. Finally, the king had to declare that he would lavishly reward those who could break the spell and curse the boat so that it would enter the water. All over the country, people famous for their talent in exorcising evil spirits and demons all responded to the king and number 39's summons, but still refused. Even the wise monks and highly skilled monks had no choice but to give up. Everyone tries their best, but no one succeeds. The boat was still lying on the beach, giving off a fragrant woody smell and sparkling in the sunlight. No one could make it slide into the water. Hanako stood in the crowd of villagers. She watched the scene happening, thinking about whether she should listen to the advice of the chestnut tree. But there have been many people who have tried their skills. If she wanted to try, people would just make fun of her. But who knows, maybe the story the chestnut tree told her that long ago was a real story and not a dream at all? Besides, when she remembered what the tree said to her that day, she saw that the words he said had all come true, so she gathered all her courage, stepped out into the space in front of the boat, and bowed low. Then said loudly, "If you allow me, I will try to neutralize the magic spell that has haunted this boat." The things she feared had happened. Everyone roared and mocked her. Especially those who have used their talents to find luck, those with great stature and cunning monks. How could a weak girl like that intend to outplay other talented people? They shouted, "Go home, little girl, Dawn and number 39. Think about patching up the sky and the sea. She only hinders people and number 39's work." But her neighbors present that day spoke up to support her. It and number 39's Miss Hanako, just let her try. She and number 39's very nice and cute, she doesn't and #39 do anything naughty. Maybe she can get the boat launched. Finally, the manager signaled her to show her talent, because he didn't and #39 want to miss any opportunity. Hanako was confused and nervous, walked closer to the boat and said softly, "It and number 39's me, Hanako." Because she was so emotional, she spoke so softly that her words could not be understood. All the guests looked intently at her to see how the work was going. Hanako stood still for a moment to regain her composure. Then she moved closer, caressed the side of the boat and said, "I and number 39 Hanako. I and number 39 coming to you." As soon as she finished saying those words, the boat alone slowly moved, gently sliding into the water. Then everyone shouted with joy. Everyone admired Hanako, so the king called her to ask what reward she wanted. Hanako immediately told the king about her close friendship and also told him that the tree wanted to help her and her mother. The king was very pleased with this lovely, exemplary girl. He rewarded her with a lot of money, and from that day on, she lived happily and peacefully with her old mother. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.